It's Tuesday night. Hello and welcome. GT4s are on track. You can see the beautiful 14-turn, 4.05 mile America circuit, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We're at Midwest Motorsports for the GT4 season. It's well underway. Steve Hansel getting really sideways as he finishes out his qualifying lap. Steve Hansel in the light blue Porsche with the red, white, and blue stripes down the middle. Last week we had a great showing at Road Atlanta. Today we are looking to have over 19 cars qualifying right now, finishing up their final qualifying lap. Pretty awesome to have such a great turnout in the GT4s. Remember, they're split up into two different classes, racing their own individual races on the track at the same time. The pros are designated with the blue color to the left of their name, the amateurs with the red color to the left of their name. So if you're watching on the Twitch stream or at home, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to chime in on the chat. Tell us all your friends, maybe who you think's going to win, who you're pulling for. Right now, this is, again, race 9 of 20. Hard to believe we're almost halfway through the season already. In the pro division, Max Bauer out to a 300-point lead over Johan de Roy, who has missed the last couple of races. We hope he comes back. He very well might. Jason Phillips right behind him. In third, Shay McNeely, who has only raced 5 out of the 9 races we've had so far. Shay McNeely's only raced 5 out of the 9 so far and still in 4th place. Josh Bloom in 5th, Steve Hansel 6th, Justin Thaler 7th, Adrian Fedorowski 8th, Francis Faustino 9th, and Justin Fedorowski wraps up the pro top 10. But again, that's without the drops. Out of 20 races, you get to drop 2 of them. So no drops are counting yet. Still a little bit early to look at the points. On the AM side, Sam Hubbard has a 94-point lead over Justin Glickner. David Wortman, Dan Gish, Michael Odell is a big mover after Road Atlanta. Michael Odell riding with now in the Red Bull Porsche moved up 4 spots after a great showing at Road Atlanta. So we're going to go racing tonight. We're still wrapping up qualifying. Jason Phillips went purple on that last lap, which means he's going to start on the pole outside of Max Bauer, unless Michael Odell can pull it out here. But I think that's everybody qualifying. So Jason Phillips in the Big Ass Fans Porsche is on the pole. Not surprised, Jason Phillips, a regular. So we're glad to have everybody here, including my buddy Aaron Holroyd in the booth. Aaron's been doing a great job running the Cup broadcast and joining us on the Road Series. I hope you join us back more often, Aaron. But welcome to the Road Series, Aaron. How are you doing tonight? What's it looking like at Road America?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thanks for the introduction. It's looking real good tonight for Jason Phillips. I'll say that much. I mean, he's always had a fast car, and he's got some pace tonight. So we'll see if he can go ahead and get that first place after the exciting race last week between Sam and Max. So hopefully we can replicate some of that, get some good hard racing here, and we'll see what these guys can pull. I mean, we saw what the trucks did. We had 32 drivers, and that was pretty exciting. So we got 19 tonight. Hopefully they have a good time, and I'm looking forward to it very much.
Great, man. Well, again, it sure is nice to not have to, but not having the responsibility of calling the whole race 60 minutes on my own. So we get to split it up a little bit today. It's definitely a big relief and give us another perspective. You always bring us good insight. So again, we're just glad to have you, Aaron. We're going to go green for 60 minutes. So we're going to have at least one pit stop. The previous races, they've been changing front tires. I think that's going to happen again tonight. So what else do you expect to see around this 14-turn Road America track GT4s?
I expect to see a lot of good moves. I mean, we've got quite a few 90 degrees or more turns, so we'll probably see some late dives. Hopefully, they keep it fairly clean and make sure that they don't rack up those incident points. Those are going to be playing a factor here pretty soon. I believe we might have an EOL tonight. So, with that, man, I love to see these cars racing here. Big field. We got a couple new drivers, some new drivers to the series, not so much the league. We got Christopher Melton coming back, and then we have Christopher Dricken driving a BMW. So Nicholas Calgary is no longer the solo BMW in the field. Looking like they'll have a good time tonight. We got Brian Coxon also here with the McLaren. So a couple of new names, new racers, and see if they can figure out this track with these boys.
That's right. That's right. And these guys actually start one turn before the end. So if we can stack them up, Jason Phillips is going to bring us to the green, and he gets an early jump going up the hill at Road Atlanta to start the race. Let's see if he backed it back down. No, he got in it. Keep your foot down now, Jason. Long front straightaway. Remember, all 4X or above on the first lap will be reviewed. But here's one of those passing zones that you talked about, Aaron, side by side with Sam Hubbard and Michael Odell back there in 4th and 5th, I believe.
Michael.
Gives them a little bit of space. And like you said, Brian Coxon sticks his nose in front of Josh Bloom there. So that's another good race. But Sam Hubbard, Michael Odell did give way to, I guess, discretion, the better part of valor this early in the race. We got a pop out now with Brian Coxon going aggressive on Max Bauer into turn 3. The left-hander, that's turn 5. Sorry about that. Max Bauer in the Aston Martin purple, and Brian Coxon in the blue McLaren went for the bridge to turn 6. Turn 7, they go down, starts the downhill run a little bit before another left-hander, turn 8, and then the carousel. This is going to be something to watch for tonight. The exit of the carousel, Max Bauer carrying good speed through the entry there, had to actually brake late, but here's the carousel with Josh Bloom in the white Mercedes creeping up this long right-hander. Important to get a good exit here because the next passing zone is Canada Corner, which is the long right. This kink right here also, watch the guys who decide to take a lot of risk and carry more speed through that kink. It was definitely see what you're made of type of corner in the kink. And here's Canada Corner. Jason Phillips already out to a 2-second lead. Coxon messes it up. The exit of Canada, we're 3 wide. Josh Bloom looking for a 2-for-1 sail. It gets Max Bauer, or does he? The next 2 turns are right, so I think he'll have the inside line. Michael Odell also trying to take advantage. And now we're headed back up the hill. Max Bauer's going to get a good slipstream into turn 1 if he can time it right. Pops out, doesn't have too much more momentum, but it is a right. And that is 1 lap of Road Atlanta. Brian Coxon showing that cold tires do not scare him. Max Bauer gets back by Josh Bloom. That's 1 lap. Road America. Beautiful track. Michael Odell and Sam Hubbard again side by side. No love lost there after Road Atlanta last week. And that is also going to let Justin Thaler peek his nose here in the papaya and white McLaren, getting a draft on Sam Hubbard there. Is he going to try 3 wide? I think so. You got an update from pit lane there, Aaron?
Yeah, it looks like Hopper, he had to do a drive-through, and he's got another black flag that popped up. Waiting for the pass down from race control now. Seems like he might be having issues. He was speeding in the pits. Now he's got to stop and go. So that's definitely going to put him back well behind these guys, and I'm not sure how much he's going to be able to make up with that. I mean, I'm pretty sure the stop and go is a 40-second thing, so that's going
Oh,
to
no.
all but kill the race for Hopper so far. And hope he just stays in here and gets some good track time, get some more practice. I mean, even though you may not be involved at the big part of the race, you still get time in seat and practice, and it's always good to get those. So hope to see him staying in, have him come back out race with these guys. And we see Wortman taking a peek inside Shane McNeil, Steve Hansel, I'm sorry. But early in this beginning of this race, we've had lots of moves. I mean, you got David Wortman up 4 spots into 6 now, and I mean, these guys were getting brave with Bauer in front of them. They weren't afraid. They weren't afraid to try to mix it up and make some moves. Josh Bloom was feeling it earlier. These guys looking like they're getting a nice little single file now. So good to see no major incidents come up. So these guys have been keeping it clean so far, and hopefully we get some good action and keep it clean all race.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Aaron. There has been some super aggressive driving, 3 wide at one point, yet almost no contact between these guys. And that really just goes to show how far they've come, especially since the F3 season last season. If you were a part of that, you know what I'm talking about. But it looks like everybody's just showing a lot of respect to each other, racing hard, but clean and fair. And altogether, I mean, looks like the gap for everybody within, 10 seconds in the top 12. So pretty amazing. Here's Francis Faustino looking on the inside. He goes too deep, way too deep. There's no way he's going to make that one. I saw him get Dan Gish, and then he was going for Justin Thaler too, and just outbroke himself. Maybe lost sight of the braking zone. Here he comes. He's going to come right at your living room, or maybe not. Here's Shea McNeely, and Christopher Dricken also goes deep in the same place. Christopher Dricken, the W.
Yeah, this is Dricken's first race with us in the series.
Oh, where is it?
There it is.
Yeah, it looks like he did it. Just wanted to avoid. I think that was Francis Faustino just avoiding contact, knowing that he wasn't going to make it. So he tried to just stay on the throttle and get out of the way so that he doesn't interfere with anybody else's race. So a little respectful driving. And Steve Hansel goes wide. David Wortman's going to take advantage. Sam Hubbard also takes advantage.
It was still good to see that, even though these guys are having some problems with, missing turns and getting too far in areas, they still didn't take somebody else out. So a lot of respect given up here, and trying not to ruin somebody else's race just because you might have your own little mistake. So hats off to these guys for keeping it clean so far. We're almost 7 minutes into this 1 hour race, and it's stayed fairly clean. I like it.
Yeah, so you ran this track in the trucks on Friday night, Aaron, right?
I sure did.
Yep. So did you have a favorite section of the track, or maybe a most challenging section of the track?
For sure, the long straightaway after you come out of turn 3, the Moraine sweep, right where you saw Francis Faustino get it wrong. That was that section, and then the turn going uphill right after that. Those were the ones that caught me, as I was in front of Kevin Mayer, and I made the mistake of downshifting into first gear, going up a hill to the left, and that all but sent me around and ruined the rest of Kevin's night and put me back a few spots. So that was a mistake I had to figure out on my own, and unfortunately I wasn't able to keep it out of anybody else. But yeah, this section right here was very hard to get brakes on the trucks, and then you want to go fast, but you're coming uphill and have to slow down and make a left. This is not an easy section at all. You run it just a little bit wide in this grass, and it's going to get you real good.
It's a blind crest also, so it's kind of hard to see the apex until you almost come out from under the bridge.
Very true.
Yeah, very challenging track. Road America, it's a FIA grade 2, so it's not quite Formula 1 ready, but definitely a lot of runoff room NASCAR races here. Christopher Dickens getting it wrong again in the same place, turn 5.
I have to put that brake bias up a little bit more on the front end. Speaking of Formula 1, you know how much this track cost when it originally was built?
I don't. Something tells me you do.
$175,000 back in 1955. So I think they did in 54s when they started building it. But could you imagine if they got this thing ready for F1 racing, how much money they put in here and make this track look real good?
Yeah, that would be incredible. This section here too is, I really like the last section before, like, I think it's called Thunder Alley, before the front straight, because it looks like they're coming up on Christopher Hopper already. So these are the front group. Max Bauer does have the purple lap, the fastest lap of the race so far, but Steve Hansel on the inside of Sam Hubbard for the next turn one. Let's see if Sam Hubbard, again, pro class, and David Wortman is an AM, and Sam Hubbard is an AM. Michael Odell is an AM. Steve Hansel is in an AM sandwich right now. So Steve Hansel in the blue Porsche needs to manage his risk right here. At the same time, he wants to keep up with Josh Bloom, the next pro. Steve Hansel fifth in the pros right now.
Steve Hansel is going to put the move on the inside here of Sam Hubbard. He does have the faster time last lap around, so look, if Steve Hansel puts on the inside of Hubbard, look for Michael Odell to capitalize that while Hubbard's stuck out in no man's land on the outside somewhere. You know, you got the two Porsches running 1-2 just behind the Mercedes running 1, 2, and 3 actually, because Bloom is just above in front of these guys by 4 seconds. So I'm sure if I were Odell and I see Hansel making the move inside Sam, I would go fall right with him and get that point back.
That's right. As we are watching now, Max Bauer trying to eyeball Brian Coxon and figure out where to make the move. Brian Coxon also a pro, so no reason for Brian Coxon to have a reason to move over. Brian Coxon has raced 4 races with us. This is his 5th start. Max Bauer looking inside. This is Canada corner, and he got him. Brian Coxon saw him at the last second. Give the position to Max Bauer as they go through Canada corner. Aaron, do you know why they call that Canada corner?
If I remember correctly, after watching the stream over, I believe there's a bunch of empty beer bottles and Canadian cigarettes.
That's right. That's right.
There it is.
Good. I'm glad somebody's watching the stream. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching the stream. I mean, the numbers have been pretty amazing for all of the streaming Midwest Motorsports streaming series. So thank you to everybody who's joined. Don't forget to give us a follow while you're there. But yeah, thanks to everybody. Want to give us a chat? We'd be glad to chat about you, man. So thanks again to everybody for tuning in. But we got, man, once again, Steve Hansel. There's the Twitch channel. Steve Hansel in the middle of this amateur sandwich. The only pro, Steve Hansel in the baby blue Porsche. I believe Sam Hubbard's holding him up a little bit, but can't figure out a way to get by clean and interfere. I'm sure Steve Hansel, as an admin, holds the extra responsibility of making sure to be clean and maybe not interfere with the race Sam Hubbard and David Wortman are having. But here they go down in the braking zone. Turn 5 and 6 coming up. Wortman goes wide. Sam Hubbard goes inside and takes it. Steve Hansel has nowhere to go. That was 6. Here we are in 7 under the Corvette bridge and the fan walkover. Give the position to Sam Hubbard. David Wortman gets into Steve Hansel a little bit. So that gives Wortman back the inside line as they try to figure out There we are. That was turn 8. So now we're coming to the carousel. But Sam Hubbard gets a good run away from David Wortman. Don't look now. Justin Thaler trying to figure out a way to get by Odell. Some incredibly clean and aggressive racing here. We're just barely 13 minutes in. They go through the kink, down the windy back straight into Kettle Bottoms and then Canada. Here goes Justin Thaler on the inside of Michael Odell versus Am. Michael Odell, very high racing intelligence quotient. Let's Justin Thaler go. Maybe he can learn something by following Thaler here.
you know, Steve might be getting a little frustrated, not able to get past these AM guys. Wortman was kind of the lead car in front of this little pack, and then now Sam Hubbard got around him, so look for Hubbard to start trying to pull away now and get up to Josh Bloom in the fourth place. But Steve Hansel's going to have his work here cut out for him. He's got Justin Taylor coming in hot. He's going to want to take that position back and better himself off with at least getting a 5th place right now. That's where Steve Hansel's sitting in the Pro Division.
Yep, he's eyeing up David Wortman right now too, trying to figure out how to get around him as they go through turn 3, carrying as much speed as you can for a long downhill straight.
Yep, this is the Moraine sweep right here. That nice Sargento's cheese truck above them, above the tunnel.
Good. Yep. David Wortman taking the defensive line in the braking zone and then covering himself. But it looks like 2 moves, but let's see if Steve Hansel can carry more speed on the exit. Got one more left up the hill. Blind crest. And he goes wide again. Steve Hansel's going to be on the outside there, though. Here we got Shea McNeely and Dan Gish. Okay, back side by side. Steve Hansel gets around David Wortman there. So move Steve Hansel up, and good. Thanks for the replay there. Colin Huffman working hard in the booth. Going on the entrance to the carousel. Dave Wortman knows that he's there, knows that he's a pro on the outside, and he's an AM, so up driving there by David Wortman. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was great. No problem, Colin. Thanks for doing the great job. Here we are again with the replay. We got Dan Gish, Shea McNeely, Nicholas Calguru, and that was another BMW. Oh, Shea McNeely goes around. Shea McNeely, after being out 3 or 4 weeks. And I hope he doesn't reset. He does reset. Tough break. Maybe he's just trying to get it out of the way and be respectful. David Wortman and Steve Hansel still going at it. Steve Hansel blinking. Going side by side through the Bill Mitchell bend and Thunder Valley. Justin Taylor gets by Steve Hansel. So move Justin Taylor up. Let's see if Justin Taylor can get around David Wortman and stay around him. Michael Odell just following right now. Remember, we have at least 1 pit stop to go, just barely 16 minutes into the race. And it's side by side. I wonder if Steve Hansel's going to bump draft with Justin and just try to catch back up to David Wortman. Justin Taylor got around Steve pretty clearly there. So if Justin Taylor's got more pace, especially Justin was the winner of the Truck Series race Friday.
We're getting passed down now. Shea McNeely has retired from the race. I believe that was Chris Ramel in the BMW that might have gotten into the rear end of him going into the turn 5 after the Moraine sweep. So Shea looking to get some points back tonight and making his 5th race appearance, and within the first 15 minutes goes out after pretty hard contact.
Yeah, it's too bad. We hate to see anybody give up the ghost like that, man. But part of racing, I guess. And if you're not feeling it, not doing anybody any favors, as we see Melton getting it wrong again, getting out into the kitty litter, doing some landscaping for us. Here we are back with Justin Taylor, Steve Hansel, Michael Odell. 7, 8, and 9.
I haven't heard you use that before. Kitty litter, that got me good.
Oh. Yeah, hopefully that bring too much of it back on the track. Leave a lot of marbles out there, just enough to cut down a tire. Go past the go-kart track and the kink. This winding road. I've seen lots of crazy crashes through here, carrying too much speed of the kink, and it's just really fast, 120 mile an hour. Oh, Justin Taylor gets that just a little bit wrong. Steve Hansel carries a lot of speed through Thunder Alley here. And I love this section, just almost flat out sweeping S's, 4th gear, 100 miles an hour for the last turn 14. Steve Hansel gets 2 wheels off left, trying to avoid Justin Taylor. Gives up 1 spot to Michael Odell, spots to Dan Gish. Oh, just bad timing there. He's going to lose another one to Calguru, but just trying not to run over Justin Taylor, and gets 2 wheels drivers left. Easy mistake to do. Steve Hansel just having bad luck. Always seems to be running up front, and something happens. Just a simple mistake. I mean, I don't know what he could have done much different there other than give Justin a little more room, but he wanted to stay close enough to get the slipstream and maybe make a repass down in turn 1. So that's why we call it racing. That's exactly why we run the race.
Yeah, I mean, putting left sides on turn 14, that's kind of like an uphill, almost off camber section. So you get those left sides off, and it's really hard to either A, keep yourself from spinning, or B, just to bring it back on track. I mean, you're turning right, and your left side wheels are almost off an edge. So he got away with only losing a couple spots, but that's a pretty hefty mistake for something pretty small in any other section of the track, right?
Great point. A great point, man. Josh Bloom here in 4th spot, looking up at Brian Coxon in the McLaren. Looks like Max Bauer has stretched out a 4-second gap, but still has 5 seconds to catch back up to Jason Phillips. However, Jason Phillips turned his last lap, as well as Max Bauer. Also, his most recent lap was his fastest and the fastest of the race at a 2:16.21. Thunder Alley, Josh Bloom in 4th, looking up, try to figure out where Brian Coxon might be vulnerable. Turn 14, Josh Bloom closes up on the entry. See how they go down the long front stretch. Wave to Barney for one more lap. Working lap 9. Steve Hansel is caught back up to Cal Guru. And still blinking some. You can see the go-kart track. The replays, for some reason, want to give us fits, especially when they blink. Steve Hansel popped out, but maybe a little bit early. Lost a little momentum. Let's see if he can regain it. Not before the turn 1 right. Nicholas Calguru is an AM. Steve Hansel, a pro. Right behind them, about 3 seconds back, they got Dustin Reinsettle. Steve Hansel still getting 2 wheels off. See Francis Faustino's making some ground back up. Caught back up with Taylor Montague. Side by side, Nicholas Calguru and Steve Hansel now down to turn 5. Calguru's got the inside line. Can Steve Hansel do the crossover? Yes, he does. There. He's going to have the inside line after going under the Corvette walkover bridge. Park on the apex and make sure Calguru's got nowhere to go. Through turn 7. And one more time. The left-hander of turn 8 before the carousel. Calguru trying to hang on to it. Can't quite do it. That is how these GT4s doing some great racing. We back to 3rd and 4th with Brian Coxon and Josh Bloom. Don't forget, Josh Bloom doing a great job after missing a race. Josh Bloom still 5th in points, so he's got a lot to play for. Looks like he's going to get some good points all here if he can hold his spot. Qualified 4th, currently running 4th. Long overdue for a win. Had a really good run going at Lime Rock also for some last lap shenanigans. But like I say, this GT4 season certainly developing into being very competitive, and everybody seems to be having fun from what I've been reading on the Discord, and everybody's helping each other out, offering up practice sessions. Midwest Motorsports League is a great place to be, right, Aaron?
Sure is. I mean, we got 4 different series that run all week. 3 of them right now we're trying to do broadcasting as you sign up right here at midwest-motorsports.com to see all your links you need to go to, how you get to the Discord, and all these fun things we're doing. So looks like we're gonna have a little QR promo code come up here. Is that right? We got that going, James?
I believe so. Yep. Grab your cell phone, learn about everything Midwest Motorsports. Scan the code. It'll take you right to our link tree. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Tuesday. Unleash the racer in you with Midwest Motorsports. Friday's the Truck Series, Saturday Xfinity, Sunday Cup. Midwest-motorsports.com is where you can find more info about the rules and iRating. You do a really good job of making sure everybody plays fair and races fair. Steve Hansel all the way back to 10th, looking up at Dan Gish. Did get by Calgary. Don't look now, Francis Faustino is in 12th after an earlier off, so like he's made some spots back up. Battle for 14, 15, 16 looks pretty good too. Steve Hansel working on Dan Gish here. See if we can get him before they head into the last turn, turn 14. This is where we went off last time. Steve Hansel in the Porsche seems to really carry the entry speed into that corner and then catches the car in front at just the worst possible time and has to overslow or drive towards left to get off out of the way and avoid contact. Now he pops out at just about the right time. See if he can do the braking zone pass into turn 1. Dan Gish lets it happen. Again, different divisions. So it moves Steve Hansel up to 9th overall, which is going to be 6th in the pro class.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Steve Hansel comes into the last turn with a lot of speed and gets right up to the guys, and at that point it's kind of hard if you brake too much and overslow going into a long straight, you're going to lose a lot of time to the guy in front of you. But if you don't brake hard enough, you're going to end up sending somebody off to the danger zone. So hopefully he starts to get away now. He's going to start making up some own time. He's got 6 seconds to catch up to Michael Odell, who is the 8th place on-track driver. So getting passed through now as the 59 of Christopher Dricken got a drive-through, so he's going to be coming to the pits here pretty soon. We see the 28 having this problem.
Andrew Miller into the tire wall on the inside, I believe. Turn 2 or 3, I should say. And just gets 2 wheels off driver's left, stays in the gas, and another neck stretcher for the front of that car. There's Calguru doing his best to avoid the dirt. Comes back in right in front. Taylor Montague there. Looks like Josh Bloom got around Coxon. So move Josh Bloom up a spot to P3. Brian Coxon, after a very aggressive, good start. McLaren, the blue McLaren, as we see the 59 coming out of the pits after serving his drive-through.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cox is losing some pace here. I mean, he started up 3rd at one point, was up there with Phillips and Bauer, and now just slowly falling back as we see somebody go off track. That's the 59 coming out of the pits on cold tires. Oh, he had a drive-through, so he probably may. No, he wouldn't have.
Spins it. Half spin. Getting on the power, putting the power down. Oh no, he must have changed tires as he came in or got fuel when 59 came in. Lost to service drive-through. Can't take service when you're serving your penalty. So that's going to cost him again.
Yeah, that might be part of that rookie knowledge of not knowing exactly to go through the whole drive-through process. It's first race here, so maybe it's slight confusion on his end, but nonetheless, he's going to have to go ahead and go do a drive-through here within the next 3 laps, or he's going to be getting I believe it's a DNF, or he's going to get disqualified if he doesn't serve that black flag.
He's got 3 laps to do it. Thanks again to Midwest Motorsports for having a dedicated race control to help everybody stay on top of that and communicate through the chat and voice chat to let them know what's going on. Got Justin Taylor here and run down, having a good battle with Michael Odell, different classes. Justin Taylor doing a great job in P7 right now, getting your Truck Series winner.
Lucky for Justin.
Yeah, qualified just behind Michael Odell, but Justin Taylor in the black, white, and papaya McLaren. Michael Odell in the Red Bull Porsche right behind him. As the 59 comes in this lap to service penalty, hopefully he'll drive all the way through pit time, not stop. We should be coming up on pit stops any lap now, right at the 30-minute mark. Once again, thanks for everybody. Whoa, Justin Taylor going inside on the grass. Looks like he completely went on the inside of the curbing there. All 4 wheels inside the curb. That would not be a in real life way to get around the corner. As we got Brian Coxon and Josh Bloom still going at it. This is for 3rd. Once again, on the pit lap, I'm guessing. Good to know that 59 is clear of any penalties. As 15X does reset, if he gets another 15X, he'll be asked to exit the world and come back next week. At VIR, you're not going to want to miss that. Tuesday night. Right now, we're Road America. Coming up on the kink, a light lift before cranking right just enough. Get back on the gas as early as possible. I don't think they're downshifting here. They didn't in qualifying anyway. Headed to Canada corner, big braking zone. Bloom shows the nose. Great racing. Lots of momentum being carried through the apex onto the exit. Can put a blanket over these 2 guys for the last 2 laps.
Yeah, your leader, Jason Phillips, has entered the pits lane. He entered with a 7-second gap on these guys, as we see Josh Bloom ducking behind him now. So we're starting to see the pits lane get active now. Max Power maybe looking to get 1 more lap in with the lighter car. Try to see if he can do the overcut, as you told me about last week. So we'll see what he can put down for this lap and maybe get away with coming out in front of Phillips there. Phillips having a great race. He's kind of been in no man's land by himself up there, so he's held these guys off for a nice stretch. Hasn't had a race win since Spa back in race number 5, so he's looking to get that streak coming back to life. We see the pit lanes really lighting up. We got 6 or 7 cars in right now.
I'm with you. Jason Phillips working really hard throughout the league and just had a couple of bad luck moves in different races. But this is why we run the race once again. So definitely expect to see Jason Phillips put a strong showing in for this overall championship. And Jason Phillips has made all 9 races. So without any throwouts, he's still 3rd. Only 23 backs from Yohan DeRoy, so effectively 2nd. 300 points back from Max Power. Again, without any throwouts. Oh, Michael Odell right up to the 0-0 of Justin Taylor. Under braking. 2 wheels off, driver's right. Around the carousel now. This is where those left side tires just start screaming. Apex, maybe diming that carousel off. And here's the kink. Let's watch the speed. 128, 133, 33, down to 120, 21, before getting right back in and staying in fifth gear the whole time, at least in the Porsche of Michael Odell.
Odell chooses to stay out this last lap to kind of pull on what Max Bauer did. See if he can put himself between a couple more cars than Sam Hubbard, who I believe was your leader when they came in the pits for the AM division. So Odell chooses to stay out. We'll see if he comes in this time behind Thaler, as Bauer and Coxon have both pulled in now. So I don't know if these guys have much more time as we see them diving in right now.
That's right. That's right. So we're looking for Josh Bloom and Jason Phillips. See if they come out with Max Bauer and Brian Coxon as we're watching Thaler. Here's Jason Phillips. I think the one we want to watch for. Yeah, Jason Phillips and Josh Bloom. Jason Phillips once again using the black Big Ass Fans livery. Going past the pits now. Let's see if Max Bauer's on his way out. And he is. Give it to Jason Phillips. There he goes. Max Bauer is going to come out behind the 59 lap car, so he might have a little bit of a slipstream help, unless the 59 just pulls over and lets him go. Thank you, 59. But give the lead, Jason Phillips.
You're gonna see how he comes out this first lap. I mean, like I said, he was 7 seconds down, but if he changed fronts, he's going to have some cold front tires, which I'm not sure if I'm able to see given the pit time. They were 23 and 32 and 29 seconds, so relatively close pit times. Maybe one of them took fronts and maybe the other one didn't. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, you see Sam Hubbard and David Wortman, battle of the AMG Mercedes. Sam Hubbard, no stranger to sending it in deep. See if he can do it around the outside here of turn 5. David Wortman giving him room. David Wortman going to be on the inside of this next turn. Sam Hubbard now going to be on the inside. Wortman gives up the ghost for now, but there's a lot of racing left. 24 minutes. Sam Hubbard now looking up at Justin Thaler out of the carousel, going for the kink. Michael Odell up ahead. I think all those guys have come into pit. Everybody now has completed their pit stop, which will give us the time to sort things out here. Grab your cell phone. We're going to throw that QR code up one more time, give you a little promo. Sam Hubbard on the inside of Thaler. Thaler lets him go. Now Justin Thaler's in the amateur sandwich. All right, grab your cell phone. MidwestMotorsports.com, the place to be. Unleash the racer in you with Midwest Motorsports. Feel the adrenaline, embrace the excitement, and join a thriving community that's as passionate about sim racing as you are. Our social channels bring you closer to the action, offering a driver's seat to the competition and an all-access garage pass to the latest results, news, and updates of all 4 Midwest Motorsports leagues. Don't just be a spectator, join the excitement. Scan the QR code to turn the key and ignite your competitive spirit. Follow Midwest Motorsports and plug into a community that's as passionate about sim racing as you are. Scan the code on the screen or find us at midwest-motorsports.com today. Well, you're watching it with us. Justin Thaler, Sam Hubbard, and here comes Steve Hansel. Oh, look now. Justin Thaler in the black, white, and papaya McLaren, Steve Hansel in the blue Porsche, both get around Sam Hubbard, who was the only AM out of these three, who was fighting with David Wortman. Once again, thanks for joining us tonight. Midwest Motorsports, there's our Twitch stream and our different classes. You're watching the Road Series, 7 p.m. on Tuesdays. Trucks, Fridays at 9:30, Saturday at 6 for Xfinity, Sunday at 7 for Cup. So you head down to Canada Corner. Sam Hubbard wants the outside of Steve Hansel. Steve Hansel sticks it in there, stays with Justin, but looks like Justin Thaler and Sam Hubbard, little argy-bargy there, as my friend Calvin Fish likes to call it. I'm not sure if there was any contact, but in turn one, Sam Hubbard and Justin Thaler ended up going just a little bit wide, getting into the gravel trap, but carrying enough speed on the exit that go across the line one more time to complete lap 17.
I'm not too sure Sam's going to like that whole thing. He kind of lucked out. He was running up in 6th. Wortman got by him. Taylor stayed in front of him. And Hansels got by him now. So look at Hubbard to start gripping the wheel a little bit tighter now, try to put a pushback on and get back up to Wortman and hopefully get to Odell. I mean, he's about 9 seconds-ish. No, not 9. About 5 or 6 seconds back from Odell. So now he's got somebody to draft off of with Steve Hansel in front of him. Who's got Thaler, the little draft train right now. We'll see what Hubbard can do, last week's race winner.
Oh, look at the closing speed of Steve Hansel. That Porsche just seems to be a lot lighter and can go almost 50 meters deeper than the McLaren, or if that's just the differences in the driving styles. But we saw Francis Faustino going really deep into the braking zone. Jason Phillips, now your current leader by almost 3 seconds, also in a Porsche, seems to just carry a lot of entry speed and really good braking power to be able to pull that Porsche Cayman up before rear-ending Justin Thaler. You are around the carousel on the exit. Christopher Dricken, once again, trying to get another 15X so he can have a reason to go home, maybe. Not sure what his motive is for driving so hard, but there he goes. Sometimes you have to learn the race the hard way. It's all right. I mean, you got to learn somehow, right? And, to know when to push it and what the consequences are. So we're all good. Yep. I called it. 59. It's official. 30X. Pack your bags. Oh, Josh Bloom gets it wide on that final turn. Tests out the shocks and the suspension on his car. Once again, thanks to all the Twitch followers. We're getting more and more followers with each stream. We appreciate each and every one of you. You're all important to us. Don't forget to tell your friends. We're going GT4 racing. We're having a great time. We're glad you're joining us. So this is the battle for 5th in the pros between Justin Thaler and Steve Hansel. Both good friends. Up ahead, Michael Odell and David Wortman, about 3 seconds apart. So this is the closest battle on the track. Justin Thaler, Steve Hansel, Sam Hubbard. So we're going to stay with these guys. These are definitely the closest battle on the track. There's David Wortman doing a great job. Second in the AM division. Michael Odell in the Red Bull Porsche, currently first in the AM division. See Sam Hubbard going a little wide in the background there. But this race, 7th and 8th overall. I'm not sure if you heard the cool down lap, the Midwest Motorsports podcast hosted by Greg Dreiss. Monday nights at 9 p.m., we actually had Sam Hubbard on for an interview. He was our guest for the podcast. Had a great conversation. Sam Hubbard from Northern Alabama. We had a good time getting to know him. But he understands he's probably going to be racing in the pros the next series, the next season. So that'll give him a different mindset as he goes through these races. I think he definitely belongs in the pro division. And he's showing us why by holding strong with all these pros. But props to Sam Hubbard and all the AMs. Michael Odell, David Wortman. Going to be some shakeups next season, but right now, again, all to play for.
Taking a look at our time and scoring here, Max Bauer with the overcut attempt did catch him up by about 5 seconds, and last time around he was 4/10 faster than your leader Jason Phillips. So I'm not sure if Jason might have had a little bit of a harder brake zone or whatnot, but Bauer is slowly starting to creep him in. They got a very nice cushion of coxswain, so these guys have 14 seconds to the closest driver, and at one point they were 7 seconds apart, and now you can see both of them in the same turn. Take a good look at Jason Phillips with the black big ass fans Porsche tonight. Like I said, mix it up a little bit. Has a white livery with the I Love Justin. So looking to see that livery come out. You see him go wide. Dangerous spot to get on the grass. That's a fast sweeper, and he put left side tires in the grass. Starting to feel the pressure with Max Bauer hunting him down.
He's definitely in Max Bauer's crosshairs now. You can see him. He's close enough to smell Hubbard, I'm sure. Jason Phillips feeling the pressure. Feeling it, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's affecting his driving, but looks like you're right. He went from almost 3 seconds now down to almost under 2, maybe 1 3/4 second as they go down this long front straightaway. Let's see if Bauer's closing in a little by little, 100th at a time, 100th here, 100th there.
Last lap, Bauer was 6/10 faster that one.
Yeah, half a second a lap. Within 3 laps, he'll be there.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe if you're within like the second mark, that's when you start catching the real effects of the draft. So looks like Max Bauer's going to want to try to take all the good lines to get as much gap closed as he can on Phillips. And, we're just shy of 15 minutes now. Don't look, this could get pretty interesting later. We see Steve Hansel got caught up by Sam Hubbard. So Sam Hubbard is put in the charge to catch up to these guys using the draft. Justin getting 2 cars on his back, and Steve giving him the lights.
Coming through.
And they're in the same division. He's flashing lights for him. Not sure how much Justin's going to like that. He's going to try to put the move on here.
I do think Steve Hansel is faster, but, going after that pass, Justin Thaler now, remember they worked together, but Sam Hubbard, he is no stranger to licking stamps. Thaler on the inside of Hansel now. Hansel giving space. Here comes Sam Hubbard, and the AM trying to make it 3 wide, coming up to turn 6. Again, just not a lot to gain for Sam Hubbard other than just getting in the way of this AM championship. Of course, he is trying to catch David Wortman, but this can only slow them down if they're running in 3s. It's going to only allow Sam Hubbard's real competition to pull away by slowing down Steve Hansel and Justin Thaler, as opposed to working with them.
Look at that.
Unless he's holding them up, and the AM driver in the Mercedes going around the outside of the carousel. Now into the kink.
Hubbard was the faster of the 3 cars last time around, so he's putting in that charge. He's got 4 seconds to catch up to Wortman to get that 2nd place. And in front of them is going to be Odell, so he's got 5 seconds to the leader, about 6 seconds now. So we'll see if that faster lap time was because of the draft, or if he's got something figured out now as he gets past the 2 pro drivers.
You know, I've said all season long how great of a job iRacing has done with the balance of performance and making sure that all the different manufacturers of cars are relatively equal. And you can see it here. It's just, I wonder if there's one car that's faster than another at a certain section of the track and they're catching up in different places, and just seeing it overall lap times might be worked out, but different sections or segments of the track allow for a different car to have an advantage. But right now, give it to Sam Hubbard.
I do know that when doing some driving these things, the Porsches can brake a lot later than these other cars, whereas you have the AMG up front, bigger, a little bit heavier car, and you know it's a front engine car compared to some of these rear engine cars like the McLaren. So he's got to do a lot more braking sooner than the guys behind him, and that's what's allowing Steve Hansel to get that closing speed on the McLaren, especially as you see him come up right here. He's gonna be right up on his bumper.
Yeah, we saw him go driver's left on that final turn to keep from running over Justin Taylor on entry. Then we saw Francis Faustino actually get it very wrong intentionally to make sure that he doesn't run over anybody or T-bone somebody by getting it just a little bit wrong. It doesn't take much. Things happen really fast here in the GT4 class. We're just at 10, just past the 10-minute mark, coming up on 9 minutes to go. Jason Potter, see if we can find some info about you. Glad to see you with us, Jason Potter.
It looks like Sam Hubbard starting to make the pull away now. He might have been the faster of these 3 cars running in the order. He's got a lot of getaway speed with the big engine, so he's got a nice these long parts here especially going to help out Hubbard with gaining as he can see Wortman in front of him now. Got a clear sign of that car. I believe that's Wortman in front of them. And then you have Jason Phillips and Max Bauer are running relatively same times. They're about a second and a half off from each other, so we'll keep you posted on that if anything spicy keeps popping up. But right now, this is the closest fight we have on track between Justin Taylor, your truck winner here on Friday, and Steve Hansel.
Once again, these guys are great friends off the track. I'm sure they're both smiling from ear to ear, checking each other out. They might have even allowed Sam Hubbard to get a gap so they can get out in the pro division. And here goes under braking, as we've talked about. Good call, Aaron. Steve Hansel carries a lot of speed to the middle and gets the apex. Now Justin Taylor says, nice move. I'll give you a little courtesy blink. Courtesy flash. They go through the little right-hander turn 7. Once again, we want to welcome Jason Potter. First race with us in the Porsche, number 53. His iRating makes him a pro. So welcome to the club. Jason Potter, not bad for your first time out. He picks the right car. Seems to be a lot of Porsches. Porsches seem to be doing well everywhere we go. Really comes down to the driver, how much practice they get. All right, we're winding it down. Coming up on 6 minutes to go. Once again, thanks to everybody in the Twitch stream.
You know, one thing I noticed differently about today is I think today and yesterday I don't remember seeing. Sometimes these guys put up a practice lobby before the actual race so they can get like an extra hour or two, and I don't remember seeing one. And usually the man in first place right now, Jason Phillips, is one to host it. Maybe he didn't want to give up too many secrets, as we see Andrew Miller coming up with a mistake, a little overcorrection, and a little side swipe. Shouldn't be too hard of a hit, but Jason Phillips is your leader, and right now Max Bauer is applying pressure. He's under a second now. This is the fight for your overall pro winner.
And 1-2 in the points without Johan de Roy. So there's championship implications here as we are at race 10 of 20. So after this, we're halfway through. Max is on the hunt. Yes, he is.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe first place gets a 50-point advantage over second place. So this is valuable points for Phillips as he's 325 down to Bauer. So, I'll put him 275 down if he makes his stick.
Yes, they both have led a lap. We'll see if it comes down to the lap count. You also get 1 bonus point for leading the most laps. So a couple of bonus points to play for. I think I've seen them both go off just a little bit, so no 0x bonus point. There are bonus points on offer. But a 300-point lead, like you said, about. It's going to take a lot to overcome a 300-point deficit, but again, that's without the throwaways. So you're going to have 2 drop races. So that might make up for some of Jason Phillips' more unfortunate runs. If I can get some stats on Jason Phillips here.
Yeah, the worst finish I see for Phillips would have been at Monza. He got 6th place. Other than that, he's been top 5 every other race. Oh no, he got 6th place at Road Atlanta last week too. So there's 2 6th place, as Max Bauer is usually going to be in the top 5. Almost winning each race. He missed 1 position. He got 7th. I believe that was a mistake he had at Monza. And then, but even then, he still had the fastest lap. So without that mistake, who knows? He could have had more point lead after that one. You put that as a throwaway. That's going to change some points as well.
Less than half a second now. Max Bauer is definitely on the hunt. He's looking forward. He's going to have about 2 laps to do it. So I wonder if he was taking notes or figuring out where that Aston Martin can beat the Porsche as they go to the entrance of the carousel through the kink. Let's find out. 15.901 to Jason Phillips, 16.209. Max Bauer's most recent lap was his fastest lap through the kink. Just hard to understate how important that corner is. It's a true measure of your risk taking. Here we go into Canada. Max Bauer closes in. Jason Phillips playing it a little bit safe right now. Thunder Alley.
Bauer's fast lap time was almost half a second faster than anybody else on track, so he's definitely feeling it now. He's got those tires nice and prepped, and the car is getting lighter, and he's got crosshairs right in front of him.
Great view. We're going to ride with second place right now. They're going to get one more after this. I don't think the white's out yet. Oh, it is the white. Yes, this is it. This is the final lap. Can Max Bauer do it? Now or never. Max Bauer always races with respect. He's not going to use the bumper, but he's right up on him now. Jason Phillips putting dirt on the track, getting 2 wheels off, trying to throw a distraction to Max Bauer. Jason Phillips. Let's not forget Michael Odell in the AM division has got a 3-second lead. So if he can bring it home, start taking those Red Bull Porsche hats to victory lane. But just still white. We'll stay with Max and Jason. Jason Phillips trying to hold off Max Bauer. They go under the Corvette walkover bridge for the final time. Headed now up the hill and now back down. Hurry downs. One more left-hander before the carousel. Canada corner or the final corner, the two next biggest passing zones for Max Bauer. Can he do it? He's going to give it his all. He's not going to be dirty. They're over 20 seconds back to third place, Brian Coxon.
I'm sure we're going to pay attention to Canada's corner. He's going to get that closing speed with being in the draft, and he's going to hold it wide here. As you see the awesome Aston Martin of Max. Here it comes.
Jason Phillips using all the entry and all the exit. Max Bauer, does he have enough speed to make a move and pop out? Can Jason Phillips play defense? This is it. This corner, one more chance. Max Bauer goes as deep as he can. Does he lose? You don't want to lose contact with him. All right, so we're going through Thunder Alley. A couple more S's, and then one more right-hander. Max Bauer looking inside. Jason Phillips throws a block. Max Bauer, can he use the slipstream? Checkered flag is a ways up. Max Bauer carrying momentum. Here they go. He pops out side by side. He's got a bumper on him. He's at the door. Can he get there to the line? Door. Oh. Front wheel. No. Bauer. Oh my gosh, I can't call it.
Bauer, oh my gosh, he's going to take that.
Photo finish. Timing
Max
says 0.00. Timing says dead tie. I know right now the screen says Max Bauer, but the interval says 0.00. We're going to have to go to the third decimal, maybe even the fourth. This might have to be a double points winner. I don't know.
Getting past race control. They're saying Bauer got it.
Oh, I don't see the iRacing interval. Unless I see it on screen. Oh my goodness. What a race. Nobody wants to do burnouts because they don't know who won. Unbelievable. Maybe Colin can get us a replay and go, here it is. It just passed
overhead.
Where's the camera? Bauer wins by
thousandths
of a second. 0.001. Here it is coming to the line. Congratulations, Max Bauer. You had the speed, got the slipstream. This is one for the record books. That's, oh my goodness. All right, you got a super slow-mo. Oh, we got to change the cameras and figure out. That's gorgeous. That's why we run the race. GT4, Midwest Motorsports style. Jason Phillips and Max Bauer. You got to give it up. 1,000th second. 0.001. I mean, that's the difference in the layer of paint or that second layer of wrap. Unbelievable finish. Let's not forget everybody else. But right now, man, I'd love to get Max Bauer and Jason Phillips if they're willing to talk to us. Michael Odell also with the winner in the AM division. 5th overall, so congratulations to him. There it is, Barney giving us the flag. What a finish.
Oh, I can't wait to see the race pictures this week.
Look at
have
that.
Side by side. Look at this.
Great view. Boom.
That might have been that little red that red pull up from the grass right there.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we're going to be talking about that one for a while.
That is a close.
Yeah, I've never seen a race that close. Congratulations again, Michael Odell. Aaron, have you seen anything like that?
No, I was, I thought Phillips had it. I was rooting for him because he needed one, but with the power of the Aston Martin, it pulled going up that hill, and he saw Phillips kind of stalling out going uphill, and maybe Bauer shipped an extra year or so, but we are going to bring these guys in right now as we have with us Max Bauer. Max, holy cow, man! How did you pull that one off?
I don't know, man. Fucking. Oh, oops, sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Language. This was.
Dude, that was an amazing race watching you. That was awesome.
It was so tough for me. I had a bad start at the beginning. Struggled so much on cold tires, so I had to let them pass. And I was just trying to catch Jason ahead. And yeah, pit stop went perfectly fine. Almost no traffic, and I was pushing like hell and was trying to reach him. And in the end, last lap to this finish lane, I had a better exit from last turn. So yeah, pretty.
Are you
awesome.
seeing it? Are you seeing it right now? I don't know if you can see the stream, but I mean, it is a hair.
0.001 Max. Congratulations. We were riding with you guys the whole time. You had about 2.5 seconds with 10 minutes to go, and you reeled him in little by little. There was maybe one lap where Phillips went wide in one corner, and you gained half a second, then you had him in the crosshairs, and just we thought you were going to do it through the kink in Canada corner. You popped out. It wasn't quite there. We knew you were going to keep it clean, which you did. So full respect to you, sir. Then you just got in a slipstream a long way up the hill, that Aston Martin power, and we watched you go across it. Jason Phillips, nothing he could do. He was pushing the pedal through the floorboard. I'm sure you were too.
You can bet on it. I was like, come on, car, do it for me.
Hey Max, I know a good call you made. Phillips did go in the pits one lap before you, and at that point he was about 7 seconds up on you. And when you came out after the cycle, you must have put in one hell of a lap because you came out just shy of 3 seconds from him. So that was a great strategy call. Hang out there one more lap with those tires and a lighter car. That right there that made the difference in the end of this race.
I tried my best. I tried to save some fuel to do one more lap, and I was able to not fuel as much as he did, and I also picked the 2 tires on the left side, front and rear. So maybe that's only left side, because it was so heavy on my left side tires. I decided to only change them.
Was that a game? Was that a game time decision, or is that something that you thought about before today? Because I know previous races, a lot of times you just changed fronts.
I did one practice stint and was watching my tire degradations very closely, and I figured that especially the front left is heavily under pressure, but the left rear as well. Not as much, but still worth changing it, in my opinion. I don't know.
Absolutely amazing. Great race, Max. And
I hope you guys had some fun.
Oh yes, I hope you get a chance to listen to the replay. We were going nuts up here in the booth. I think I woke up my neighbors as well. So I'll have to send them a note later. Yeah. And also, I don't want to forget, Michael Odell did a great job running the AMs there, Michael. So are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, congratulations, man. It was a great run. I know you had a couple of good fights earlier with, I think David Wortman, Sam Hubbard was in there, and you were mixing up in the pros too. So congratulations, Michael.
Thank you very much. That was definitely a interesting strategy. The strategy was, if I have no idea what I'm doing, surely they won't either. And it seemed to pay off, I guess, because the Porsche, kudos to Sam, him and Wortman both. They can drive the absolute piss out of that Mercedes. On pure pace, I wasn't matching with the Porsche. I just can't get it to not understeer without turning into either a anchor out the back or just stuck in the front. But after I tried following the pro guy, went into pits, I'm like, either it's gonna work or it doesn't. And I look at the deltas and I see 2 seconds behind me is Hubbard, and I'm like, okay, we may have something here. And then with help from the McLaren pro driver, I was like, every time I saw him get past, I'm like, please just inch ahead enough to delay Sam a little bit more, because if the second Sam got by that pro, it was like a horror movie pretty much. Like, it's not if, it's just when
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you coming back, you have a strong finish at Sebring and Lime Rock with the wins, and then Sam got you last week, but you respond back this week with the win after last week you got a 6th place finish. So good on you for making the strategy move and pitting a different time that they did, and you put in the charge. And I mean, just like Max did, you guys had different strategies, and it ended up paying off for you as well.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Also, even better with finding out tonight that I was national champion for Acura Racing as well. So having a championship IRL in karts and then winning tonight, it just icing on the cake with it. It's awesome.
Congratulations on both sides, man. That's where you get some skills from. Yeah, man. Well, I know it's good practice. I'm sure there's a lot of crossover on both sides. I know you may have joined the race, the Midwest Motorsports, a little bit late, but out of the 5 races that you've done, I see a 2nd, a 1st, a 1st, a 6th at Road Atlanta. In other words, a little first lap chaos there in that sprint feature race. But with 2 dropouts, and you're still in it for this championship, right?
I mean, if not championship, I'm happy with top 3 with how late I joined in. The only thing is just focusing on, like, I think today I checked, it was 5th. So I'm happy where I'm at, even with how few races I completed compared to the rest of the grid.
Yeah, that's right. You were 5th coming into it, but that's point without the 2 drops. So we'll see how it plays out once we get to the 18. Is when we'll really know how much
for sure
counts with the dropouts. But yeah, man. So this is the first time I think we've really had another chance to talk to you. So I just want to say congratulations, and we look forward to having you. Do you have any experience at VIR, which I believe is next week?
No, I don't, but I probably will need a lot to keep up with the Mercedes, because I know this car, with all the crests and hills and stuff with VIR, this thing is not going to want to turn, so I'm going to have to put the brake bias to like negative 50 if I have to make it turn and keep up with Sam.
Man, VIR is a really fun track, so you get to practice on that. I love that track when it's on the open lobbies, and you'll have a great time there. I know that.
As long as my Quest 2 doesn't overheat, because it almost overheated and shut down on me, so I need to get that sorted out first, and then hopefully put some time in and see what I could do next week.
Well, we look forward to it, man. Thanks for providing such a great, entertaining race today, and we look forward to seeing that Red Bull Porsche up front again next week.
That's it. Thank you.
Any more shout-outs before we let you go?
Shout out to probably my brother Ian and Ryan for all. I think all 3 of them are spamming the crap out of the chat, so this one's real.
Awesome.
Yeah, we saw the chat going, man. Great race tonight.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, thanks.
See you next week.
And Max, if you're still here and still have your ears on, we just wanted to congratulate you one more time and ask if you have any experience at VIR and what you expect to see next week. You've got a pretty dominating lead, over 300 points over Jason Phillips. You're going to extend that lead after today, but again, that's without the drops. But tell us about VIR and what you expect to see next week.
VIR is a very fun track. I've only been racing it with the Skip Barber. But I think at this race, Slipstream will be playing kind of key role due to the long straight and I believe the even longer back straight.
Yes, the back straight is very long indeed. And that's where you're going to, especially like I said, with the Aston over the Porsche, you're going to have a lot of closing speed coming up to those guys, but they're going to try to outbreak you. I know that much.
We will see.
And if you thought Road Atlanta was narrow, VIR tends to get very narrow too and easy to run off. So, I know me and Aaron are going to be calling it from the booth next week, and we look forward to seeing you up front as well. Max, congratulations on a great run today. Any shout outs?
Shout out to all of you guys, especially to you, James. And I'm sorry, say your name again.
Aaron,
and Aaron, you too. You're doing a great job, by the way. All the commenting stuff, it helps growing, it helps understanding what's going on the racetrack. So keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a very, very great job.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
We're just calling what we see it, man. Keep driving like that, and we'll keep yelling at top of our lungs. All right, congratulations.
Only for you. Thank you.
Great
Thank you
race.
so much.
Great race. Man, what a fun race. A lot of fun. Even the pros, even the AMs, everybody was just having a great race. Michael Odell and David Wortman, Sam Hubbard. Congrats to everybody. We're watching the replay as they come across the line one more time. 0.001 for the win. Max Bauer, Jason Phillips. Probably still has a smile on his face, man. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Aaron, last thoughts before we check out?
Oh man, that was exactly the race you wanted it to be. I mean, with the trucks having the race we did, and knowing these guys here and seeing Jason with the faster time, qualifying wise, that was everything we needed it to be. It was a fairly clean race. I don't remember seeing a whole lot of people getting into each other. So kudos to the drivers out there tonight for their heads up racing, clean racing, and way to put on a show for everybody watching.
Oh man, incredible. That's one for the history books. I'd like to see that highlight reel on Sports Center, but we'll have to wait till next week to do it again at VIR. I will go ahead and sign us off. For Aaron Holroyd, don't forget Colin Huffman down in the booth working the great cameras for us, taking us all the way to the checkered flag. And Riven Vale, Josh Watt running the broadcast for us. I'm James J. Stay in your lane. Until next week, we'll see you at VIR. Thanks for Midwest-Motorsports.com.